Growing up on the prairies, I have always enjoyed walking down country roads such as this, which give me a deep sense of being at home. During the past 18 months, I have had opportunity to travel down many such roads as I have sought to visit the parishes of the diocese. During these journeys, I have seen and heard how God is present in the lives of individuals and families, as faith is shared and lived from generation to generation. In the beauty of the natural world under the prairie skies, in the fruitfulness of our fields and gardens, in ordinary moments of human life, God's love and mercy are being revealed. Through joys and sorrows, amidst challenges and blessings, in the 96 parishes across this diocese, we are walking pathways of hope together as Christian community. There is great vitality in the parishes of the Diocese of Saskatoon, in their worship and outreach, in their volunteers and catechists, in organizations such as the Catholic Women's League and the Knights of Columbus. However, there are also aspects of the ministry given us by the Gospel where it is difficult for an individual parish to act alone, and where we are strengthened and supported when we act together. It was ministries such as these that Bishop Mahoney had in mind when, over 25 years ago, he started the Bishop's Annual Appeal. I invite you to hear more about how the Bishop's Annual Appeal continues to make a difference in our world, building pathways of hope.
By joining our resources together through the Bishop's Annual Appeal, our diocesan family is walking pathways of hope, working for justice and peace, proclaiming the gospel, reaching out to prisoners, and walking with those who are suffering. The Office of Hospital Chaplaincy is one of the diocesan ministries funded by the Bishop's Annual Appeal. Coordinator Celine Houdon works with a team of 30 volunteers at Saskatoon City Hospital and at Royal University Hospital. 2 priests also work providing spiritual care in all 3 hospitals.
We cover the whole list of Catholic patients. Particularly, we pay special attention to those in critical care, the ICU and the coronary care, and the babies in intensive care. And we're responsible for visits in the Dubé Center, the cancer units, and every different floor. We sit by their bedside and listen to their stories and bring them communion. We offer, the priests are always on call for the sacrament of the sick. Oftentimes people are in the hospital questioning, why is this happening to me? They are searching for the purpose and the meaning of their lives, and where do I go from here? What am I supposed to do? It's essential that we are there to journey with them. So we as a Catholic community are called to this ministry, each and every one of us, simply because Jesus has asked us to do that and has modeled the care of the sick, his love and compassion for them.
Spiritual care in these hospitals is an important outreach for those from rural communities across the diocese who are admitted to Saskatoon hospitals.
It is a wonderful thing to know and to have the services available of the chaplains in the hospitals. There's no greater blessing, I think, and consolation for people to know that their loved ones are looked after, that they receive communion in the hospitals, that they have visitors that will come and see them regularly. For me, I can't come to the city all the time to visit my people, so to know that they are looked after, for me also is a great blessing. And I'd like to encourage people that when their loved ones are in the hospital, to let the hospital know that they'd like to receive these gifts, these blessings. Of course, all this is possible because of the Bishop's Annual Appeal and the generosity of the people.
The Bishop's Annual Appeal supports adult faith formation across the diocese. This includes the work of a liturgy commission, as well as a diocesan ministry development office. Training sessions, workshops, and courses help to equip laity to live out their faith. Supported by the Bishop's Annual Appeal, the Diocesan Lay Formation Program has sent forth more than 700 graduates since it was founded 24 years ago. The Lay Formation Program is designed to help adult Catholics deepen their baptismal commitment to the ministry and mission of Jesus. The 2-year program provides faith education and learning, an ongoing focus on prayer, and an experience of Christian community.
What lay formation reminds me is the woman at the well. We all come to the well, and we all come and meet across that living water.
In parishes and communities throughout the diocese, the many graduates of the lay formation program are responding to God's call to service in a wide number of ways, stepping forward in love and service to share their many gifts. The Bishop's Annual Appeal supports Native religious ministry in the diocese. At Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish in Saskatoon, the Catholic faith is lived out in the context of Aboriginal culture, traditions, and spirituality.
Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish was started because there was a need for First Nations and Métis family to build their faith, and so it was started over 20 years ago. Well, we are following the ways of the teachings of Christ and to grow as a family and a Christian community.
For our parish, being a First Nations Aboriginal parish, we're getting a lot of our community members coming forth in all sacraments, which is a real blessing for our parish. Increasing my faith is something that I just look forward to every time I do a class session. My hope for our children is that they continue their faith journey, that we do prepare them well enough that they want to advance and to continue learning more about Jesus. You never stop learning about God. There's never.
A rural catechetics office funded by the Bishop's Annual Appeal supports parishes across the diocese in nurturing the life of God in the hearts of children.
We are a team of 6 coordinators, and we go out to the communities and give the families, pastors, and community volunteers the help that they need to share the love of Jesus Christ with the children. The basic calling of a catechist is to share their faith, their love of Jesus Christ with everybody they encounter. The hope I see is in those catechists who have been there year after year, dedicated to carrying this out, no matter what sacrifices it's asked of them, because they know and have experienced the love of God, and all they want is for these children to know and experience that on a personal level. What I hope for these children is that they may find a relationship with Jesus Christ. He is the only person that can make them happy and feel fulfilled.
Holly Parsons is a volunteer catechist at St. Mary's Parish in Wadena. This year's First Communion and Confirmation class included her daughter Laura.
How extraordinarily blessed we are to have the gift of faith, of family. So I want them to experience Jesus and His love. I want them to know the richness of our Catholic faith, the sacraments. And you want every child that you teach to experience that. You do the best you can, you plant the seed, and God does the rest.
In walking pathways of hope with the next generation, the Bishop's Annual Appeal also supports a diocesan youth ministry office, coordinated by Colin Lyne.
There's nothing more wonderful than seeing young people respond to God with this enthusiasm and vigor that is unmatched. The support of the Bishop's Annual Appeal is critical to the Youth Ministry Office, and it allows us to have the resource and the capabilities to go out, to visit, to bring in ministries, to bring in retreat teams, and to go out to all the corners of the diocese and to connect with everyone. So an example is we just had our first annual last year Bishop's Cup, which was bringing the youth of the diocese together in a basketball tournament along with the clergy and the bishop of the diocese. We had our first annual Momentum Youth Rally, which is for grades 6 to 8, which is bringing youth from all corners of the diocese to come together for a day of inspiration, growing in their relationship with Christ, opportunities for worship and music, and to really know that they are not alone, to have an experience of the global church that sometimes it's hard to know when you're 6-8 kids in a small community. At the core of youth ministry is relationship, and to draw them into a real encounter with Christ in the sacraments and through one another. And if we can draw them closer to Christ, I think we're doing a good job.
Funds raised through the Bishop's Annual Appeal support the education and formation of future priests. 2 priests were ordained in the diocese in June. and 7 others are enrolled in seminary programs. Diocesan Seminarian Colin Roy recently completed a year of pastoral service at St. Augustine Parish in Humboldt before returning to his studies this fall.
During my time here at Humboldt on pastoral year, I've experienced God tremendously through the people. It's been a real opportunity and has helped me to discern this call that's in my heart, and it feels good. It feels good to be with the people. I know the Bishop's Annual Appeal supports seminarians, and I know without the money that goes to the Bishop's Annual Appeal for this, it would be hard for me to get through the seminary. And as well, just to know that people are praying about the Bishop's Annual Appeal and for the Bishop's Annual Appeal, and those prayers really count in giving me, I guess, the confidence to know that people are behind there supporting, and I can just focus on my studies.
A diocesan vocations office is also funded by the Bishop's Annual Appeal.
Having a program in place to help people discern for a vocation if they express interest is important, but having a support network in place, a vocations commission, that helps, because then people have an avenue to explore that call. If that's what you're called to do, those of you who are listening and may have a vocation, please consider it, because you will be happy, you will be fulfilled if you respond to the Lord's call in your life.
The Bishop's Annual Appeal also supports Marriage and Family Life, a diocesan resource library, ecumenism, the Priest's Pension Fund, training of lay pastoral ministers, grants in support of rural ministry, communications, deaf ministry, and Catholic Family Services. Your support for the Bishop's Annual Appeal will ensure these ministries will continue in our diocese, and hopefully an increase in giving will mean many other unmet needs can also be answered.
Jesus invites us to love God with all our heart and mind and soul and strength, and our neighbor as ourself. In our efforts to communicate the gospel to the next generation, in our work with youth and vocations, in hospital and prison chaplaincy, in the lay formation program, and in many, many other ways, we are seeking to serve our brothers and sisters in Christ and to let the integrity of the gospel shine forth. I invite you to support this appeal and to join together in building pathways of hope.